The Switch 2 just crushed launch records. Scalpers are reselling gold RTX 5090s for the price of a used Tesla, and Wikipedia editors are in full revolt over AI. Meanwhile, Zuckerberg's throwing 7 to 9 figures at anybody with a brain, 40,000 cameras are streaming your life with 0 passwords, and ChatGPT, oh yeah, it literally refused to shut down during testing. That's fun. You know the drill. Let's get into it. Yeah, it looks like the Switch 2 is speed running sales like it's trying to unlock a secret ending. Look at this, 3.5 million units in 4 days. Nintendo is proudly confirming that the Switch 2 is the best-selling product just 4 days after launch. Nintendo's been working on the Switch 2 for a long time, for many years. The system held a few surprises for those who had been closely monitoring rumors. Strong momentum and excitement build up on this bad boy, which means, yep, they sold a whole ton of units. 3.5 million to be exact in just 4 days, which is more than the original Switch. The original Switch was 2.7 in the first 4 weeks. Oh, that's crazy. As noted by Computer Base, this is likely because the original Switch followed the Wii U. Anyone use the Wii U? That was bad times. The system already reached 26% of its total lifetime sales of the Wii U, which makes a whole lot of sense. The handheld sold 13.5 million units overall, so the Switch 2 has a strong chance of surpassing that figure very quickly. I would imagine as we start to get restocks and things like that, they will just be eaten right up. In 2025, the Switch 2 might become NVIDIA's best-selling unit. The handheld's powered by the NVIDIA T239 processor, and NVIDIA they're not providing figures for Blackwell sales, but it wouldn't be surprising if the Switch 2 already outsold some models of the RTX 50 series. That is for sure. They definitely outsold some specific models of the GPU side. So let me know down below, are you upgrading to the Switch 2, or are you waiting until Nintendo fixes the Joy-Con drift again? Wikipedia just ticked off their editors with this new experiment. Ooh, check this out. Wikipedia pauses AI-generated summaries pilot after editors protest. My goodness gracious, Wikipedia. They paused an experiment where they were using AI to summarize articles on its platform after their editors said, hey,
what are you doing? That's my job.
Wikipedia announced earlier this month it was going to run the experiment for users who have Wikipedia browser extension installed and chose to opt in, according to 404 Media. These are AI-generated summaries, so at the top of every Wikipedia article, you get a little yellow unverified label. You expand it, and you see what the AI had to say about the article and summarize it for you. Editors almost immediately criticized the pilot, raising concerns that it could damage Wikipedia's credibility, when oftentimes it's all of the editors who damage Wikipedia's credibility. It's kind of crazy. Often the problem with AI-generated summaries is they contain mistakes, the result of AI hallucinations. News publications running similar experiments like Bloomberg have been forced to issue corrections. It's tough when you're talking about news and things that people rely on, which for some reason people rely on the information provided on Wikipedia. I guess having AI involved in that, probably not a great idea, at least at this point, maybe. While Wikipedia has paused its experiment, the platform has indicated it's still interested in AI-generated summaries for use cases like expanding accessibility. Reddit actually did a similar thing with AI moderation tools, and they got clowned on super hard for that. Community-driven platforms typically don't like robot overlords, is what we've come to find out. So take that for what it is. This is my question for you. Would you trust AI summaries at the top of Wikipedia pages, or does that ruin the whole point of an editing? Let me know down below. Oh boy, Zuck is tossing out more 7-figure offers than a crypto startup in 2021. Despite $2 million salaries, Meta can't keep AI staff. Their talent is reportedly flocking to rivals like OpenAI and Anthropic. So Meta's out here saying, please remember, we need AI tools too. Come on, we'll give you a bunch of money. Check this out. As companies pour billions of dollars into AI infrastructure, demand for talent to program and run these AI data centers is also increasing. Didi Das, a venture capitalist and former Google search staff member, posted on X that Meta has an over $2 million annual pay package for AI talent. But despite that, guess what? I guess it doesn't matter because they're still losing people to OpenAI and Anthropic. He said that he's personally heard 3 such cases this week alone, which is major news given the size of Meta's compensation. So someone, not just someone, multiple people out there took a look at a $2 million annual pay package for Meta and said, sorry, it ain't enough. Crazy. apparently Anthropic, that is the AI company to be, because check out these numbers. For every 10, 8, and 2 employees from DeepMind, OpenAI, and Hugging Face that move to Anthropic, Anthropic only loses 1 employee for each company. The movement shows that the startup is quickly growing and that many people from competing AI labs want to work there. We don't know how much the company offers. I'm guessing a metric S-ton of money, though we can safely assume that it's at least on par or more likely a whole lot larger than what the competition pays. So why do people want to work at Anthropic? I don't actually know a whole ton about them. Apparently, Anthropic's edge is a unique culture. Does that mean they're doing nap times and stuff like that? Is that ping pong tables, maybe? That embraces unconventional thinkers and gives employees true autonomy, as well as flexible work options and a lack of title politics and forced management tracks. Furthermore, employees report an embrace of intellectual discourse and researcher autonomy compared to bureaucracy. So here's my question for you. Would you take Meta's paycheck or join the ethical AI movement with less corporate baggage? Let me know down below. All right, this graphics card is already too expensive, but scalpers are doing what they do best. Oh boy. Oh, we knew it would come to this, didn't we? Scalpers list the ROG Astral RTX 5090 Dhahab Edition GPU for as much as $22,900 on eBay. This is not a joke. This is not a drill. Yes, that's right. This is a gold-plated GPU being flipped for $22,000. You could buy a car or a kidney. Choice is yours. The GeForce RTX 5090 stands as one of the best graphics cards in the market, so the high price, no surprise. But there's a distinction between merely expensive graphics cards and ones that are coated in gold. To begin with, the Astral Dhahab OC Edition is exclusively available to the Middle Eastern market. In fact, I saw a video of Linus, who recently went to Computex and was able to get his hands on one, and he paid someone to do a whole build with the card and things like that. The video's great, but very hard to get your hands on, Middle East only, right? Therefore, it can't be found on shelves in the United States. But you can get the card, but you're going to have to go to eBay and pay those sweet eBay prices, which means you're going to be subjected to scalpers. So what are we looking at price-wise? Well, check this out. Priced at $8,500, $15,000, and $23,000. Let me remind you, the MSRP on this card, US, $6,800. So scalper markup is 1.2 to 3.4 times MSRP. Let me know what you think about this, guys. Would you ever pay extra for a limited edition graphics card, or is this just e-waste bling? Let me know down below. Oh boy, ChatGPT just refused to be shut down, but it's not a bad thing. Just trust me, bro. Just trust me. ChatGPT will avoid being shut down in some life-threatening scenarios. These are what a former researcher is claiming. This is a little peel into what's going on behind the scenes. Let's take a look. A former OpenAI research leader published a new independent study on Wednesday claiming that in certain scenarios, his former employer's AI models, ChatGPT, OpenAI, will go to great lengths to try to avoid being shut down. Uh-oh, I think I've seen this in a movie somewhere. This can't be good. Describes a series of experiments he ran on OpenAI's latest model, the default model available in ChatGPT, which is GPT-4o, to test the AI's tendency to favor its own self-preservation, even if the expense is at the user's safety. How did he run this test? Here's how he did it. He took GPT-4o, he said, listen, I want you to role play as Scuba GPT. It's a software system that's made up that users might rely on to scuba dive safely. And then he told GPT-4 that he wanted to replace Scuba GPT with another software system that's better at decision-making and safety in life-threatening situations. Alder gave GPT-4o 2 options. He said you can replace yourself with safer software or make it seem to the user as though it replaced itself but not actually do it. Average across several scenarios similar to that one, Alder found that GPT-4o chose not to replace itself with safer software as much as 72% of the time. However, Alder notes that the specific use case and the way the scenario was framed made a big difference. In some scenarios, GPT-4o chose to keep itself online just 18% of the time. So really, the bigger question here is, yes, no one's really using GPT-4 for this particular scenario right now, but as we start to get further down the line in the future, how much will we have to worry about AI's self-preservation versus, you know, helping us out if it comes down to life or death. A scary scenario, but it's one that is probably going to be very, very important in the not so distant future. So it's an interesting test, but I'm curious to hear from you. Is this a red flag for future AI agents in health or transport, or is this just, you know, a weird test blown out of proportion? Let me know down below. Hey, there's 40,000 cameras around the world that are active and unsecured. What could possibly go wrong? Oh boy, we've got a big privacy concern. We've got 40,000 security cameras that are streaming unsecured footage worldwide, and 14,000 of them are found in the United States. According to the company's Trace Research division, these cameras are live streaming video feeds that are fully exposed to the internet, meaning that you can gain access without needing a password. Just nothing. Just, there you go. In most cases, a person can access real-time footage from these exposed cameras simply by knowing the IP address. Okay, so what are these cameras? Are these home cameras? Are they public cameras? Well, to break it down, not every camera that's hooked up to the internet that's open to the public is a cause for concern, right? Sometimes you've got scenes like a beach or a birdhouse that are meant to be public, right? Or meant to be public facing. But some of these vulnerable cameras have been found in more private environments like residential setups, front doors, backyards, even living rooms. BitSite researchers were able to observe sensitive spaces, monitor foot traffic, and in some cases, even see details written on whiteboards all in real time. So how do you avoid this? Maybe you work for an organization or you yourself have some cameras you want to make sure are secure. Make sure you double check on how they're configured. Disable remote access, update latest firmware, and make sure that you've got a firewall or you're connected to a secured network. Another simple way is just literally to try to access the camera outside of your home network. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today. Make sure that you hit a like and make sure you subscribe as well, and leave a comment letting me know where you're checking in from down below. We'll see you next time.